Right, it's Olskool Ty coming at you from Cowessess First Nation 2025 Youth Conference, and I am sitting next to you.
You sit next to Sean Bear.
And Everett Leroy.
All right, I got a couple questions for you guys today. Are you ready? All right, so what are the biggest issues facing youth today?
One of the things holding youth back is not enough opportunities because we live so far from where anything is. It's kind of hard to get good opportunities or really nice career going when you live that far away from anywhere. That's a big issue out on the res. You get stuck there. You never leave.
So the biggest issue that I face on the reserve is there's not enough programming going on for the youth to get more of us to come out and participate in activities to get active on the res. Like they used to open up the gym nightly, and they're not opening up the gym anymore.
So, how can young people have a stronger voice in decisions that affect the communities?
I think that they could do some type of talk to like council or something. I don't know. I don't think it would be like directly to the chief of council, but like talk to someone that works with the reservation and programming and just like sit down with like a group of kids and just ask them what they want. Like for programming and stuff, like if they think sports are lacking, if they think academics or just like any group, just ask them what they feel like they need. And I feel like I feel like the reservation would really benefit from that by just getting some input from
For
the
sure.
graphic they're trying to.
And they also need for the meetings that they have at the hall, they need to invite more youth out so the youth could come and say their concerns about the reserve.
What changes would you like to see in your community over the next 5 to 10 years?
A big change I would like to see in the next 5 or 10 years is Cowessess really like clamping down on the drugs issue that it's starting to become really apparent. I go to the store and I see two people that I know for sure, like I've witnessed it, that they've done like hard drugs, and it's just sad to see. I'm not saying kick them off entirely. I'm saying like try have some more rehabilitation like programming. I know we have the NA and all that, but I think there should be more pushing people towards that instead of just letting them continue. It's just sad to see. I've lost a lot of family and stuff to hard drugs. It's a really big issue.
Yeah, like Everett was saying, drugs on their reserve are a really big issue.
What does leadership look like to you?
Leadership is, as an athlete, it's a really big part of being an athlete. Leadership, obviously, you got the captain on the team and coach and everything. Leadership, what it means to me is just showing everyone else what to do. If not in like a mean way, but just showing them, like just telling them this is where you have to be and this is what you have to do. And just being there and helping them and not like yelling at them or, just being negative in any way while they're still learning what to do. Well, you obviously know what to do. That's a big thing in leadership. And I feel like that would really, a lot of people could benefit from that if they used kinder words and mannerisms when explaining things, being a leader. Yeah, that's what leadership means to me.
What are your dreams and goals for the future?
My dreams for the future is to graduate on the reserve and get a fair education so I could go move from step one, which is step one is on the reserve. You can't be stuck on step one. You gotta go to step two and move off the reserve to open up more opportunities for yourself. Like going to school, which I'm gonna do after. Go to the trades, be a heavy duty mechanic.
My dreams and goals for the future are to try and pass high school on with NCCEC and try and pass with the highest mark that I can humanly do, and hopefully get into a really nice university or college and try to get a nice degree, get a nice job. Obviously, move out of there as like Sean said. Yeah, can't be stuck on step one. Step one is just the beginning, and step two would be like moving out, getting a job, getting a higher degree, better education.
What are opportunities do you wish were more available for Indigenous youth?
I wish that there was more sports and recreation opportunities for the youth. not even just in Cowessess, but like just Indigenous youth as a whole. When I see sports teams for just like reservations, they always seem like kind of lackluster. Like there's always something missing that, say school like Melville or Rokenville, they have really like structured teams. I'm not saying that there's no structured Indigenous teams. I'm saying that they really got to like focus more on the sports and recreation because for a lot of people, that's the only outlet that they have when they're facing negative things in their lives is sports and stuff like that. So when they have a half baked sports team, then it really just it's sad to see because it's what kids are passionate about sometimes. You gotta give them structure. You gotta give them a place to have structure and stuff like that. So a good sports team and a good coach really helps with that.
How do you see technology and social media shaping youth voices?
Hopefully, positive way if people use it the correct way. By like maybe houses could implement surveys for like how we said earlier, how there'd be meetings. We could do that digitally and just send out surveys for people to do. For sure, it's gonna be hard to get people to do them initially, but hopefully it would catch on. Um, I could see that being a really big help in getting youth voices implemented into planning would be digitally. That would be a really good idea.
All right, so what kind of support do you need to thrive both traditional and modern worlds?
Something that really, really helped me thrive on the res in the past was Chief Red Bear Lodge, one of their workers, Verlin Nicotine. He was one of the most impactful people to come into my life as he took me to so many ceremonies, sweats, shake tents, right, sun dances, anything you can think of. He would offer me a ride. He would take me and a group of boys, and that really helped me as at the time I wasn't doing good whatsoever, and that really helped me push me out of it and not go, the other route of just bad bad things. Um, that really helped me, and I hope that they find another person that cares as much as he did about us, because you could tell he really cared deeply about us, and it wasn't just his job; it was he lived for it. He
Nice.
loved helping us. It was really nice to see someone like that.
So, what inspires you to keep going when life gets tough?
The one thing that inspires me is family. Family could inspire a person so much just by having a simple conversation with them to help them keep going and pushing through the rough times. Like in school, if a child is failing in school, their parents could help them with their work and talk to them about it and see what's bothering them and see what they could do to help. And sports is a big thing to help kids thrive. It helps them clear their minds by playing a sport that they really love.
Who's a role model that has influenced you the most?
Most likely say, well, not most likely, I will say my father. He's been a great influence as he literally came from zero, nothing. There was a time in his life where I'm not trying to throw shade at my dad, guys, but he used to have terrible living conditions when he turned into an adult. And one thing he told me is just don't give up. He lived in his car and warmed up SpaghettiOs with his car turned on, and that's what he lived off of. But what helped him get out of that is working as hard as he humanly could. 12-hour days, barely any sleep, while still managing to raise two kids, me and my sister. And now we have a really nice house on the res, and we're both very, very privileged to be in a position that we are. Just thanks to his hard work when he was a young adult and how hard he pushed to make this life his. And that's a really good source of inspiration because it teaches me that no matter how low I go, I can always work my way out of it as long as I want to. It's just, you gotta want to get out of it.
The person who influenced me the most was my brother Dante Bear. He he pushed me to try my hardest in sports, and he was always there to me to talk about hockey and schooling and telling me to get good grades so I can get off the res and move away. And also with hockey, he was telling me how to train certain parts of my body so I could get more strength so I could go faster.
What values do you want to carry into adulthood?
I think a value that I want to carry into my adulthood is I strive to be physically able and healthy. I know I'm not going to name any names because that's kind of mean, but I know some people who were amazing athletes and in amazing physical shape, and then when they were an adult, just because of how stressful everything, like they just like stopped caring. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's just I personally want to be in a space where I can be physically able with my kids when I have them and just be healthy as long as possible. And that's something I want to carry into adulthood and not leave it behind. Like and think about when I was 15 and I was able to do all this and that. I want to be 30 and doing the same stuff I'm doing now. Hopefully, that's what I strive to do.
Yeah, what Everett said, to be physically active in your adulthood. 'Cause some people, when they get old, they just stop caring about their physical abilities. And for someone to be in their adulthood, to have children and be able to keep up with them and play with them and teach them things that you used to do as a kid, like play basketball, play sports, play hockey. That's a good thing to keep in your adulthood so you can keep doing it and show your kids how to do it.
All right, last question I have for you guys. What advice would you give to your younger self?
The one thing that I should say was focus on school. Don't focus on partying. Don't focus on nothing else except for school. Getting good grades, doing good at your sports, academics is a very good thing. And stay out of trouble, especially in school. I got in a lot of trouble at school, and that didn't get me nowhere, but in more trouble. So stay out of trouble.
Some advice I would give to my younger self is what Sean said, stay out of trouble, obviously. I think everyone can say that they've done questionable things when they were younger. Obviously, I'd go back and not do them. So advice for yourself would be just act right. Focus on school. You're still young. Um, Sports also are a really, really good thing to do. So I would tell myself I'd push them to try get into sports earlier. And it just gives them a good foundation. School and sports are a really good foundation, and I'd try to get that implemented on my younger self if I could.
All right. Well, right on, man. Thank you guys for taking some time out of your busy schedule today to have a chat with me.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.